Welcome to Infinite Love Podcast. I'm Kate, and today I want to talk about the phrase I'm sure you've heard all your life. Well, at least I have. And that's time heals all wounds. What does that even mean? How does time heal all wounds? I spent the majority of my time, my life, avoiding the healing. I even at times used my escapes to avoid feeling, which then equated to me burying my wounds or even masking them. The realization that I spent more time running or hiding or avoiding my feelings than actually allowing myself to sit with these feelings. Your wounds are like weeds in a garden. You can pull them out or bury them, covering them up, but over time, they're going to find a new way to sprout up into your life, just like your wounds do. You can run from them, you can mask them, you can escape them altogether. But over time, they're going to find new ways to sprout up within you, and you're going to feel them differently. Clearly for me, time definitely did not heal all my wounds. Here is what I know about time. Time let me know when I was ready to start healing, when I was ready to begin feeling what I had been avoiding all my life. During this journey, I had mentioned that I utilized different tools and resources, and a lot of it came from listening to TikTok videos or podcasts, or just paying attention to my surroundings, being in the moment, being present in the moment, not getting lost in the illusion of my future or clinging on to my past, but being present in the moment. And I came across a TikTok by Tori Gordon, which then connected me to her The Coachable podcast, where she states, "You cannot heal what you are not willing to feel." This statement alone aligned with my self-healing journey and exactly what I have been experiencing, what I avoided for 30 plus years of my life, to now, to my self-healing journey the past 3 years. And it's not like I didn't try growing up. I just didn't know how to express myself, and I didn't know exactly what it was I was feeling. I knew there was a lot of rage, a lot of anger, a lot of sadness, a lot of fear, a lot of trauma, but a lot of wounds that the world may have created for me or I may have created for myself, but trying to piece that all together wasn't exactly the easiest. So time doesn't heal all wounds. Over time, I learned quickly how to mask my wounds, how to move along with life, how to find a way to fit in without ever feeling like I did fit in. And that's why it resonated with me, her videos, what she was saying. It wasn't until I was ready to feel everything in order to heal. And like I said before, healing doesn't happen overnight, nor is it perfect. And it doesn't remove your wounds, but it allows you to feel and think and change your mindset and move about more freely. Because in the end, for me, it was about self-love, self-worth. Those things I lacked. And when I started putting in the work and when I started changing how much I was pouring into others and then return I poured back into myself, life began to change for me. My emotions began to change. And sure, from time to time, things may come up, triggers, but I allow myself to feel from a different space and from a different place. I allow myself to hold compassion for myself and a lot more love for myself while I sit with those feelings, because it can be heavy and it can be difficult. Tori went on to say, the only thing that's going to heal you is love applied to the wounded places. When I stopped fighting myself and started fighting for myself, my entire healing journey shifted because I was coming from a place of self-love, self-worth, and allowing myself forgiveness, compassion, holding space for myself. Instead of hating myself for all the years I could have been doing the work, I realized, no, I just wasn't ready. I had to allow myself to understand that I wasn't ready. I didn't have the tools necessary to do such work, nor did I have the strength or capacity, most likely. Because the last 3 years of the self-healing journey took a lot of strength, took a lot of resilience. But I did it for me. I did it for myself, not for anyone else. For myself. I chose myself because I am worth it. I am worthy. And to know that I'm at a place where I can say that out loud and feel confident in myself, well, that's self-healing. That's been my journey to getting to where I am today, to utilizing the resources and tools around me and not ignoring, running, masking any of my pain anymore. I'm sitting with it. I'm feeling it. I'm validating how I feel. And as time goes on, and the more work I do within, I'm healing. But more importantly, I'm taking control of my life. I'm taking my life back. I'm in the driver's seat. I'm changing my mindset. I'm choosing love over hate. I'm choosing strength over fear. I'm present in the moment, no longer seeking a future or clinging on to my past. And that right there was a huge lesson of healing I had to learn. I clung on to my past decisions, my past choices, my past pain, my past trauma. I held on to that for so long. The biggest takeaway I've learned this year alone is surrendering. Surrendering to the process. Surrendering to the moments. Surrendering to the darkness and to the light. Knowing that I'll be okay no matter what, and trusting in that. Trusting in the process. Trusting in myself. Using my own discernment to make choices, healthier choices for myself every day. And let me just give you an example. So a few days ago, I was struggling with a double ear infection, and it drove me nuts. There's nothing worse than being sick. And obviously, when you're sick, you just need to rest. You need to listen to your body. It's all you can do. But you also have responsibilities. Being a special ed high school teacher, then coaching track practice for Special Olympics. On top of it, making sure I did a podcast every week. I made sure to balance everything out and would go to bed early to get my sleep. But it wasn't enough because clearly my days were long and exhausting. Till finally I listened and I went to the doctor, got my antibiotics, and pushed things aside. Unfortunately, I couldn't call off work because we had a lot of stuff going on that week. But the weekend, I told myself, you are going to do nothing. Absolutely nothing. You are going to rest. You're going to sleep in. You're going to take 8 million naps. Doesn't matter. You're just going to do nothing but rest and be still. Being still was never in my vocabulary in the past. I always had to be doing something, whether it was out socializing, working, doing extracurriculars. It didn't matter. I had to be doing something. I just have that much energy in me. But during the whole self-healing process, I've learned to sit still. I've enjoyed it. Not in the beginning, because in the beginning, when I sat still, my mind would race. The negative thinking, the conditioned thoughts would creep in so quickly. And now they barely do. And if they do, I just utilize my meditation. But that's not even the point. The point is, I learned to sit still and embrace the stillness, embrace the rest. And it allowed me to, turn on the TV for once in my life, which is something I really barely ever get to do or desire to do. And I kind of just zoned out and did everything. I listened, I surrendered, I trusted the process. Am I 100% today? No. But I did not even touch my podcast until Sunday night. And normally that would probably cause me severe anxiety, thinking, oh God, I have a deadline. But I don't rush anymore. I'm not in a hurry, and I'm not forcing things that don't need to be forced. I trust. I trust in myself. I trust in timing. I trust in all of it. And it took me a long time to get here, right here in this moment. But it's a beautiful space I'm in because it allows me to remove that anxiety. A lot of my anxiety was me putting pressure on myself, was me creating these scenarios that didn't have to be there, was my insecurities that would allow the anxiety to creep through. And the more work I did within, the less anxiety would appear in my life. Every now and then it may appear, but I listen. I listen intuitively to my body. Is it my anxiety or am I picking up others' energies? And more often than not, it's others' energies I'm picking up. So you see, I simply just trust and surrender to what is right here in the moment, not looking forward, looking too far ahead, and definitely not going backwards. And by doing so, it's allowed me to realize and see that had I rushed, had I let my anxiety take over and forced myself to do a podcast, clearly I would have been frustrated with myself because anyone knows with double ear infection, you can't hear. Your equilibrium is off and you just can't focus. I would have spent more time becoming more frustrated with myself and maybe even being so hard on myself that I would have emotionally triggered myself. And these are things I try to make sure I don't create for myself. I don't desire to create these situations where I set myself up to only become more disappointed in myself as if I'm actually triggering my own self. And I would have rushed through a podcast that wouldn't have been authentic. It wouldn't have come from a vulnerable place. And it probably wouldn't have made sense. And then I would have been really disappointed in myself. And those aren't things that you want to do for yourself. There's nothing worse than, well, at least growing up, there was nothing worse than when you felt someone disappointed in you. No, let alone you disappoint your own self. Ugh, what an emotional, damaging wound that could lead to. And I don't want that for myself. So I listened. I surrendered and I trusted because I know I got it. I know that the rest I gave myself allowed me to have a lot of great energy today, allowed me to be more motivated, allowed me to reflect and process what it was I was actually going to talk about. Because up until the weekend, I had no clue. My ideas and concepts usually come about during the week, which is when I create an outline and begin. Take a few moments every day to complete my podcast. But I had no energy. I made sure I was resting because I was overexerting myself at work or at practice. So by the weekend, I'm usually finishing up my podcast and doing all the edits. And I just trusted the fact that I had a blank slate in front of me. I had nothing to work with. I just had a mind and a body that was well rested to get me to here today, doing this podcast and connecting to it and aligning to it. So you see, I had a choice. I could simply cave in to my anxieties, take the old path, the old route, and force myself to get everything done because that's what I've known. The comfortable and the chaos. What I grew to learn all my life was to simply settle in the comfortable of the chaos because of the fear of the unknown. But this time, because of the healing, because of the work I've done within, I've been truly listening to my intuition. I've been listening to my body. And I chose myself. I chose to listen to that voice within that tells you rest. It doesn't mean it has to be forever. It just means that your body needs rest right now. And everything will work itself out. You will get everything done. when it's supposed to get done. But for now, trust, surrender, and rest. And by making such a choice, I've allowed myself to do the work. So here I am, back at it, finishing up this podcast and embracing it and loving it and feeling aligned. Every day we wake up and we have to make choices for ourselves. And I've learned that I could have spent all my life choosing to live in the bitterness, the anger, the sadness, the darkness. But that's where I would be sitting right here today, choosing to sit within that and not do any of the work within to heal wouldn't have allowed me to get to a place where I'm at today. And I know every day I wake up and I'm still given choices and I'm impacted by the world. But the choice I make to allow the world to reject me or accept me is mine. And I choose to accept myself. Therefore, the world accepts me. So going back to the phrase, time heals all wounds. No, it doesn't. It's the choices I made, which allowed me to heal, which allowed me to do the work. That's what heals all wounds. It's when you finally take that step for yourself and make the choices to better yourself, to feel better within, to reach out for help, to do the inner work, to do the shadow work. That's when my wounds began to heal, when I made choices that were for my highest self. I could spend my entire life hating the person I was, or the people that hurt me or did me wrong, or I could make the choice to feel, process, understand, forgive, release, let go, and surrender, and move forward day by day with love, with compassion. And these are the choices I made for myself. And now, when presented with any type of lesson or any feeling that may rise up, I process it differently, quickly. I look at it with love. I look at it from a different perspective. I feel it. And sometimes if I have to feel it without doing any of the thinking or processing, I do. I just let the emotions come up and I tell myself, all right, feel it, but get back up. Keep moving forward because I'm worthy. I'm worthy of it all. I'm worthy of everything I desire in life. And I've never been in a place where I could say that out loud and feel confident in my words like I do now. I'm worthy of it all. I'm worthy of feeling good. I'm worthy of choosing love over hate. I'm worthy of choosing forgiveness over resentment and bitterness. I'm worthy of my strength, my resilience. I'm worthy of my mind, my body, my soul, my heart. I am worthy. Time allowed me the opportunity to make choices for myself. Time allowed me to take space for myself, to heal, to nurture my wounds, to go within. What I truly learned is we're not guaranteed time. We're not guaranteed today or tomorrow. So why waste the time that we do have on holding on to our past, on dreaming about our futures, when we could just live happily in the present moment, when we can embrace all that's going on around us right here, right now, and utilize these gifts, these blessings to push forward to another day, a new beginning. Just the other day, someone was having a conversation about where does all the time go? Where did all the time go this year? And I silently smiled to myself and thought, this year's been amazing. This year, I spent a lot of time within. This year, I spent a lot of time stepping outside of my comfort zone, embracing the new, embracing the unknown, doing things I could never have imagined myself doing before. So yes, maybe this year has gone by fast, and at times felt like it went by really slow, but I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I utilize this time to really go within, to really explore and understand and feel from a different space within, from a happier space, from understanding the choices I've made to the choices I could make in my future. Time has allowed me this gift. Time has allowed me to really dig deep within. Time has allowed me to sit still in the moments and just silence everything around me and just be. So I don't look at time as, oh, I wish I did this. Oh, I should have done this. And my mindset was like that before, wishing for the year to be over with so I could have more time to myself, so I can have time for adventures. But my mindset isn't there anymore. I'm not wishing for days to pass by. I'm embracing every day because every day brings something new and it's exciting. And I'm in such a better state of tranquility and peace within. And I've just fallen in love with life and look at it so differently. I look at myself so differently. And time has allowed that. Time has allowed me to do and make choices for myself. Time is simply a gift I choose not to take for granted anymore. So I utilize my time the best I can without judging myself for how I utilize it. And what I mean is, if I'm having a bad day, well, then I'm allowed to have that bad day. And I'll utilize that time for that. But know this, that I'm going to change the trajectory of my bad day to a great day when I'm emotionally ready to do so. And when I'm having an amazing day and I feel like all I want to do is celebrate life or celebrate myself, well, I'm going to do that. And I'm going to utilize this time for myself. I'm going to take myself out. I'm going to treat myself. I'm not going to wait for somebody to do this for me. I'm going to do it for myself. Something I've never done before. Because I always found that I made time for everyone else but myself. I so freely gave my time up for everyone. And in return, well, I didn't always receive the same time back. There was not a lot of balance there. And I identified that very quickly, that I so freely chose to give and not receive. So now I so freely choose to give to myself. And this has allowed me to heal a lot of my wounds. By not always putting everyone first, even though I do this by nature, I have a huge heart. I'm so willing to give. Now I understand that not everyone is so willing to give back, and that I no longer accept in my life. And I will not judge myself for this, and I will not judge them for their journey and who they are. We just do not align. And I acknowledge this now. I utilize this time to see, to listen, to feel, to understand, and to accept and embrace what is right here in the moment, whether it's amongst others or whether it's by myself. In these moments in time, I truly embrace, love, and am deeply grateful for, because time didn't heal my wounds, but it allowed me the opportunity to see what it is I truly desire for myself. And I desire to heal. I desire to let go. I desire to take accountability for the choices and actions I've made in my past. I desire to grieve the person I once was, but hold compassion in love for that person. I desire to be the woman I am today, who is strong, who is powerful, who is beautiful. And this is what I do with my time.